Hey everyone, I'm here with my review of Monday Night Raw, and as we speak, and I'm doing this review, I'm also recording TNA Impact from last night. Now I know you're probably thinking, well, how are you doing that? Is it replaying? No. I'm going to do a separate video on this in just a little bit after my review, so you'll get a better understanding. But anyway, let's go over last night's Monday Night Raw, and I had to say it was a pretty good follow-up to WrestleMania, good post-WrestleMania Raw. I mean, you had good interaction between Batista and John Cena, and John Cena was correct in one thing, and he said every time a champion, like someone like say Batista, like Batista was, sometimes they'll say, oh, people want to see a rematch, you want your rematch, well, not tonight. Well, John was willing to basically say, hey, you want your rematch, I'm going to give it to you tonight if you want it. And Batista's like, no, I don't want my rematch tonight. So, and then you have Jack Swagger coming in with the case and basically saying he wants to cash it in right then and there, but then just backs off after Cena mounts a comeback. So then later on in the night, Jack Swagger says, I was just messing and toying with him, and all that. So, messing, toying with Cena. So, anyway. We didn't have much wrestling that night. I mean, we had some matches, but mostly it was sort of like a tribute to Shawn and all that and what he had done. The matches were okay. I mean, I'm not denying that. The matches were great. Were okay. There's no doubt about that. Overall, it was just a great post-Raw. I mean, post-WrestleMania Raw, just tremendous and a great way to say farewell to HBK. I mean, they showed some great highlights to his career from when he debuted with Marty Jannetty in 87, 88 with the Rockers. Well, I think that's when they were still the Midnight Rockers or something like that. I don't know. To win, he had the ladder match with Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, to the Iron Man match, to his match with The Undertaker last year's WrestleMania. And even when he super kicked and threw Marty Jannetty's head through the barbershop window. So, just, tremendous highlight reel throughout the night. And everybody was paying tribute in their own ways. You had, I think some of the matches that we had, I think we had one of the matches that I know of, we had Christian defeat Ted DiBiase Jr. in a Legends Lumberjack match. The Legends were basically the bad guy Legends on one side and the good guy Legends on the other. So the Legends basically consisted of Million Dollar Man, Pat Patterson, IRS, Nick Bockwinkel, I believe. Trying to think who else. Roddy Piper, Sergeant Slaughter, Tony Garea, Jerry Lawler, Ricky Steamboat, and and the list can just, and that was basically who was at ringside throughout that match. And we had a little interaction between Ted Sr. and Ted Jr. Ted Jr. basically pushing his father off, wondering, what's he doing, and he's like, I'm trying to help you up. So I don't know, they may go somewhere with that. I've got a feeling they're going to turn Million Dollar Man and make him into a mentor, someone that's going to finally take his son under his wing and probably present him with the $1 Million Championship. I don't really know. I can't say. And then let's see. Oh yeah, we had a rematch of the 10 Diva tag match from WrestleMania, and I'll give the WrestleMania one this. At least it had all the divas involved, right? during the match. But in this case, it only took like, I don't know, 30 seconds into the match and it was over. It was like, ding, 30 seconds later, ding, match over. And it was all because Maurice was doing the whole arrogant showboating, like, oh, I'm better than you and all that. And I get to pose, doesn't matter who you are. She gets rolled up by Eve, so I got a feeling they're going to do something with Eve and Maurice on Raw or wherever they may end up after the draft, because I think the storyline with Eve's going to be like, hey, you know, it's going to be like, Maurice, the only reason you lost to me so many times is because you think I'm not worthy or something like that. I got a feeling they're going to go with something that kind of gets Eve or one of the divas to point out to Maurice that the reason you lose so easily is because you're so arrogant and you think you're better than everybody else do. And then we had, I guess you can say, an impromptu tag team match between Show Miz and the Hart Dynasty. Basically, Bret Hart came out to thank the WWE Universe and sort of gloat over the fact that he had beaten Vince McMahon along with the Hart family. Him and his family beat Vince McMahon, and he also showed a T-shirt with a picture of him and Owen on there, and then Show Miz comes out, and Miz basically is saying, hey, all this time between you and Vince, this whole situation between you and Vince has been stealing my time, my thunder. And, you know, and then the Hart Dynasty, like I said, I guess, as I mentioned last night during my review, I guess have now become baby faces or something like that, because they got a huge ovation when they came out, and we had an impromptu match, and, you know, Big Show was like, oh, we don't have to take this match, and Miz is like, I want to prove to them I'm better than they are, or something like that. Basically, I think it's starting to see a little dissension there, maybe an implosion, I don't know. Some people are saying that, some aren't. So we'll just have to see what happens. I've got a feeling WWE's got something planned for Miz, where Miz looks like he's going to lose everything, and then eventually wins the big one, or something like that. I've got a feeling that's what's going to happen. I've got a feeling they're going to lose the tag titles, maybe the Hart Dynasty, and then maybe down the line he's going to lose the U.S. title to Daniel Bryan or something, or someone. And then we had, what else do we have? Oh yeah, we had the tag team match, John Cena and Randy Orton, who Cena chose to be his partner, believe it or not, against Batista and Jack Swagger. And it was an okay match. Randy Orton comes in and basically RKO's both Batista and Swagger to victory. I mean, to defeat, I should say, but RKO Swagger and Batista to defeat. And basically after that, I guess out of a show of respect, you know, Cena leaves the ring and lets Randy do his pose, but you can see an interaction there, like, yeah, you know, we were partners tonight, but hey, I still got my eye on you, and then on that WWE Championship. So, it was a good match there. And then, of course, we had HBK's farewell, which to me was one of the best farewells there was. He stood in the ring, basically thanked the fans, he thanked the announcers, he thanked the guys up in Stamford, Connecticut that put his videos together. You know, just everyone you could think of. He thanked Hunter, he thanked just about Vince McMahon, Bret Hart. You know, he thanked everybody. And he did what I think got one of the loudest ovations of the night. He thanked his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He said, thank you, my Lord, thank you, my King, for saving me, which I believe, and if my mom was watching that, she would agree was the best thing, but would basically be the one person you should thank above all. So it was a good, tearful farewell. And then, you know, as he walks up the ramp, you know, Hunter's behind him and hugs him, and then they use the glow sticks and they put him down the ramp, signifying that not only is it the end of HBK's career, but this is also the end of DX as we know it. And oh yeah, and Triple H earlier in the night tried to do a little bit of a tribute as well. And it wasn't Triple H that was talking. You could tell that was Paul Levesque, not Triple H. And then Sheamus comes out and attacks him with a pipe, and this really got Sheamus a lot of heat, not just from the fans in the arena, but from me and everybody watching at home on USA Network. So, you know, because to me it looked very legitimate and very real when he just hit him. It was like right out of nowhere. It's like, you know, what's with this guy? You know, doesn't he have respect? But overall, it was a great Raw and a great farewell, a great, send off of Shawn, letting him say what he wanted to say, and I gave it 10 out of 10, one of the best Raws that I've ever seen, and that's all I'm going to say. You got any comments, feedback, let me know, and I'll talk to you all later.